Happy Friday, everybody. Super exciting day. Another snow day for my kids. Super cold outside. I don't know what the temperature is here, but it's been just getting colder and colder. Today, my kids don't have school, not because it's snowing or anything like that, just because it's currently negative 11. I think it's supposed to get worse throughout the day. So negative 11 degrees, and that's without even the wind chill. So no school for my kids. Super cold day, but it is Friday. Hopefully, you've got some big plans for the weekend. Hopefully, you had a wonderful week. Again, for everybody in the group here, we're trying to do Celebration Friday, so I'll probably post something later today. I would love to hear what went right for you this week, maybe what you're liking about the show or what went right in your practice. So stay tuned for that inside the group. I'll just put a little post up and try to get everybody to give some good positive vibes out there for this Friday. Hope you have a nice warm beverage. I need one here in Iowa. Yesterday we talked about for your morning routine, we're getting into the productivity section. And yesterday we discussed blocking time, finding one or two segments of time where you can work on what's important to you, not necessarily get distracted by what's urgent. So again, we talked about removing the chaos, getting rid of any distractions, email, phone, whatever, so that we have this block of time. And for you, especially as a chiropractor, maybe you got to go in the office here in the morning, you only have a half an hour. Maybe you have 45 minutes. Maybe you have an hour. Whatever block of time that is, it has to be sacred to you. It has to be, this is when I work on the stuff that's most important to me. And nothing can distract you from that. That was yesterday's conversation. Again, for me or somebody who does work on the computer, I typically have 3 50-minute segments in the morning that I try to keep sacred. To some degree, with kids in school and that kind of stuff, every once in a while, one of them will disappear. But for the most part, I have 3. So I'll work for 50 minutes, focused on one task, take a 10-minute break, drink some water, move around a little bit, sometimes stretch, come back to another 50 minutes, and then another. And if I get those 3-hour blocks done, I feel pretty good about the way my day's going, and then I can go and take care of clients and do all that other stuff that I have to do for work here. A lot of times those blocks are client projects for me. I have 3 blocks there and I'll put stuff in there, which is the point we're going to get to today. So now you have this block of time. Maybe you have 1, maybe you have 2, I have 3. So you've got this block. What do you do with it? What are you going to put into that time? What is most important for you? And this is where old Brian Tracy book, probably not that old, Eat That Frog comes into play. If you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you probably should. It's a fun book to read. Eat That Frog. And if those of you who read it probably know that it came from the title came from a Mark Twain quote. Mark Twain quote. That's what I was in there. Anyways, who basically said that if every morning the first thing you do is eat a live frog, then you go through the rest of your day knowing it can't get much worse. Like, that's probably the worst thing that's going to happen to you all day long. So in this case, the analogy there is that your frog is your biggest, most important task, which might be daunting to you, might be overwhelming. But since we're talking about eating animals here, it's the same as, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. But if you eat that frog every morning and you do the one thing that you're procrastinating about, it's not that you don't want to do it, you're just procrastinating about it. Maybe you think that it's so many steps that you don't want to start the journey, but you need to start the journey. You need to eat that frog first thing in the morning. So when you try to figure out what to put in that time, it is the frog. It is your biggest frog. And I know Brian Tracy in the book, he said that if you have to eat 2 frogs, eat the ugliest one first. Get it over with. So knock that out in the morning. And when that becomes a habit, which obviously all we're working here with the morning routine stuff is creating habits. When your habit is to find that frog and eat it first thing in the morning, to knock out your most important task that first thing in the morning, clear everything else out and get some good progress on that, you'll start to become addicted to it. It will become a habit. It'll feel good because, again, you'll know that it can't get any worse. You took care of that frog, but you also feel good about the progress that you'll start making. So I love the whole eat the frog analogy. I want you to think about it well. And again, the 2 frogs, I also think about it in the same way as my kids with food, like actual food that they don't want to eat. If you have kids, you know what I'm talking about. So there's 4 things on their plate, and one of them that they claim not to like, and they save it till the end. And then at the end of dinner, they're like, I don't want to eat this. I'm like, no, you need to eat that. And and they just sit there, and it takes forever for them. However, if they sit down, the first thing they say is, I don't like that. And you say, well, eat it first. And they get rid of it. Everything else tastes good, right? It's over with, and it's done. And they can move on with the rest of their meal that they do enjoy. And I'm not saying, the one thing I want to be clear about here is that frog in the morning might not be something that you don't enjoy. Like I said, it might be your most important task, but it's a thing that just keeps on getting pushed back and back, right? It's something that you haven't prioritized before, but you know you need to. It's something that doesn't need to be done, but it's important for your future. So again, it's not something that might not be an ugly frog. It might just be a regular frog that you want to do. It's just you haven't put the focus on it. Now's the time to put the focus on it. Going back to that, my kids and the Brian Tracy book, I know he also mentioned that how did he word it? If you have to eat a live frog, like if you got to do it, you really don't want to spend a lot of time looking at it. You don't want to spend a lot of time thinking about it. It's kind of like jumping into a pool of cold water. You just got to do it, right? You just got to jump in, assuming it's safe. Get my point. Anyways, with the frog, you just got to eat it. And the quicker you do it, the less you have to worry about it. Same thing with my kids with food. Like they sit there and it's just more angst that gets built up. Whereas if they just put it in their mouth, they chew it, they drink some water, it's over with, they can move on in their life. Same thing here with you eating the frog first thing in the morning. So prioritizing is absolutely critical. You got to figure out exactly what that frog is for you, that most important task is for you to make you productive. And you got to take care of it first thing in the morning. So if you set aside that hour block to work on something, and it's a project you're working on, you just, 0 distractions, work on that project, make some progress. When the block of time is over, set aside, go to work, go do whatever you got to do. But that most important task get done first thing in the morning is critical to you having a good day, which leads to several good days and a good week, and having good months and making progress towards your goals. Too many of us just kind of float, right? We take care of what comes at us. We're reacting to stuff all of the time, and we're not building our future. We build our future by eating that frog first thing in the morning. So prioritize your tasks. Get the batch or the block of time like we talked about 2 days ago. Eliminate all chaos like we talked about yesterday. Eat that frog first thing in the morning. You're going to be glad you did. I cannot believe it's day 25 of our morning routine challenge already. We've got just under a week left here. I hope you're getting some great value from it. Make sure you throw some comments down below. Let me know you're watching. Let me know what you think. And I will see you tomorrow morning. And my Bluetooth has stopped again. This is awkward. Oh, there we go. Now I got it to work. I will see you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Like I said, we got about 6 shows left in this series. And keep your eyes out this afternoon for a celebration post. And make sure you let me know what went right this week. Talk to you later.